Brooke and I created a tower that would be able to survive if there was ever an earthquake. Before we actually started building our tower, we had to plan the size of our building and what it would look like. With building codes, the requirement was that each story had to be 18 centimeters tall. Brooke and I did this by creating a blueprint and sketch. We also had to think about what we could do to make our building as strong as possible. One thing that Brooke and I did to make the building strong and secure was to build strong joints that would help support the weight when the tower would go on the shake table. A building code helped us do this because we had to fasten the building to the base with straws. To make our building even stronger, we added cross supports. This helped distribute the weight and also helped the tower not lean or turn. We made sure everything was secure with tape. Then we prepared to install the flooring that would hold the weights. Next, we added floors so we could put weight on the building while testing it. Then a new building code came in that we had to add a roof. Here is our building in its final phase that we put in this sketch. We measured the tower. Each floor was 18 centimeters as planned in the original blueprint. With the exception of the roof, which made our tower 88 centimeters, it was almost identical to our blueprint. Before actually putting our tower on the shake table, we had to make sure it could support the weight with some shaking. We put 2 weight bags on each floor. The tower supported the weight well, and it could help us add tape or straws to certain parts of the tower to strengthen the tower. One of the building codes was that we had to connect our tower to the base with straws. Each straw connected to an upright going underneath the base. Even though this was a building code, it really helped us strengthen and secure our tower. The strongest parts of our tower are definitely the 4 major joints. We made sure that there were extra support, so even if the straw slipped, it would still stay in place. They also do a good job of distributing the weight throughout the tower. The weakest part of our tower is the straws holding up the floors. Brooke and I tried to support it the most we could with tape, securing the straws to the surrounding straws and the floor itself to help distribute the weight. For the base, we used thick tape to attach the straws, and anything above was a mix of small and large-sized tape. Brooke and I definitely used this tape to our advantage. We layered the tape, so even if a layer ripped when on the shake table, the straw would still have something to hold it in its place. The extra supplies we were given were straws and a base. The extra straws were for the elaborate roof that we had to build. The base was something to secure our tower to. Each test we took with our tower, we added more sandbags. With 22 250-gram sandbags on our tower, there was some bending in the straws, and the floors were starting to cave in.
If it doesn't break, I'm gonna be so happy. Come on, don't break.
Our building collapsed in its attempt to hold 24 sandbags. The straws on the lower right upright bent, causing the rest of the tower to fall down with it. If I could build my tower again, I would make sure that the uprights were extra supported with either more tape or straws. We recorded how our tower reacted to the earthquake by using an XYZ graph. The X being side to side, Y showing the forward and backward movement, and Z being how much the tower bounced. Each individual graph has its own measurements. Our tower completely supported 22 sandbags and collapsed trying to support 24. Each sandbag weighed 250 grams. Our tower broke at the lower right corner because our upright bent and took the rest of the tower down with it. If I could make one difference when building the tower, it would be to make sure the uprights were supported with either extra straws or extra tape. One thing I learned about building an earthquake-proof building is that you have to make sure that your uprights and your joints are very strong to support the weight and distribute the weight. One thing I enjoyed about working on the building is working with my partner Brooke Borden and experimenting and trying new ways for our tower to support weight.
My partner in my building completely supported 22 sandbags and crashed on 24. The building failed at where the lower right upright meets the straw that connects the base to the building. It failed because they weren't connected well enough and they were a little loose from each other. I think we could have fixed that by just using more tape to connect them, like the whole straw. And I learned from this that building an earthquake-proof building is difficult, and because there's a lot of requirements that you need to meet, so the building distributes the weight evenly and it can stay up. And I think in real life that'd be a lot worse, building an actual tower or building, because it's a liability and people can get hurt. One thing I enjoyed about this lab was that we were given certain instructions and rules to fit inside of, but we were able to use our own ideas and proceed with them.